Hey guys, welcome back to Craftmas Day 2. I am doing a sit down today. We're going to do a quick craft with me. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I am going to start with this bamboo cutting board that I got from Dollar Tree for obviously $1.25. Today our crafts are going to be very much kitchen related, and like I said, I just have two quick projects. So let's get this open. Okay, so I have my cutting board open. With this, you could stain it if you wanted to, or you could paint it, but I actually want to leave it bare because I do like the color of this cutting board, but I am going to set it to the side while I weed the design. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick weed. Last year for our color scheme for Christmas, I did a brown, gold, and white for Christmas. I wanted to switch it up. I kind of like to switch it up from time to time. I'm about to lose a piece here. I can't figure out which one it was. It's the eye. Why is it always the eye? I tell you. I guess because it's like the thinnest, smallest little letter. It's always the eye. Alright, I'm going to cut this top part off. Okay, so like I said, I like to change up the color scheme from time to time. And last year, I said, you know what, I really want to go with something that looks a little more neutral, something I have never ever done before, which obviously was the brown. And it came out so pretty. I was like, yes, I love it. So we're going to do it again this year. And I don't usually decorate my kitchen too much. I made a tea towel last year that I am going to add into the kitchen again this year. But I figured I would make this to go in the kitchen as well. So I thought, I'm like, okay, let's add another little piece of decor. And actually, today, my husband and I went into Joann, not to buy anything for either of ourselves. My son is learning to sew at school, and we had to buy some materials for that. And as we were, you know how when you're standing on the line and there's all those little, there's a word for it, and I can't think of it right now, but when they have all those things right at the cash wrap area that you can grab on the way out. Basically, they just try to entice you to buy more things. Well, we were there, and he saw these little teeny trinkets, and he's like, oh, babe, this would be nice for the kitchen window. We could sit this in this little reindeer and a snowman. So that's going to go in the kitchen as well. And he's like, don't you like it? I was like, it's cute, yeah. He's like, I think we should get it. I'm like, okay, if you want it, fine. He was like, fine, you don't want it? I'm like, I am fine with it. I said, you seem very excited about it, though. He was like, cuz I think it'll look nice. I'm like, I agree. So let's get it. But yeah. Okay, these pieces are really tiny. So I'm going to go ahead and finish getting all these little tiny pieces out, and then we'll come back. Okay, so I have it all weeded out. I'm going to cut a small piece of the bottom just so I can clean up these. Look at these tiny, I don't even think, can you even see them? These tiny little pieces that I do not want to get anywhere on my project. So I'm going to get them all out the way. I think there's another little one here. Okay, got Got that. And this just says, it's the most wonderful time of the year. I got this from Design Space. Now, when I originally found the design, it only said it's the most wonderful time of the year. I decided to add the little ornaments to the side just to give it a little more flair. But yeah, so if you're interested in that, you can find that in Design Space. All right, let's get this on here. I see there's some little imperfections in the wood here, but you know, that's to be expected with wood. So I'm gonna put that to the top, and I want this to come down here in this right corner. Now, of course, I think this looks good. Hold on. Let's just want to make sure it's even. That's good. Of course. Oh, I missed something. It is so small. I don't even know how I see that, but I do. It is miniature. Got that little piece out. I mean, it was just so tiny. This right in this little spot here, but I could see that something was not right there. Okay. Now, of course, what would be the best thing to do for this? It would be to use my Easy Press Mini. But if you remember me mentioning that my Easy Press Mini has basically died on me. It'll come on, but then it won't stay on. So you know what I did? I put it on my Christmas list. My family does Secret Santa, so hopefully whoever has my name will purchase a new one. So I'm waiting until Christmas to see if I get it. All right, let's get this down. I have my 9x9 heat press here, so I'm gonna use this. All right, I had this set to 30 seconds, but when I usually use my big heat press with Caesar Easy Weed, I usually use it for 15 seconds. So I'm going to see if the 15 seconds was good enough for this. And let's just get it cooled down. All right, let's test it out and see if it transferred okay. Nope. I see. Okay. Nope. I'm going to give it some more heat. Okay, so that time I gave it the full 30 seconds. And I'm going to let it sit to the side and cool. Flip it over. Try to get out some of that heat. Alright, I did let it sit for a little while. So let's go ahead and see what happens. Let's see if it... So far, the apostrophe is coming up here. All right, I think all right, not too bad. It's not the best, but it's not bad. I mean, you can see a little bit of the adhesive. I'm not sure if the camera is picking it up, but you can definitely see it in, you know, I can see it in here in front of me. But it still came out nice. I do like that brown on here. You can definitely tell in person that this is not black. But it still came out good. A little, okay, so let me be honest. I'm a little disappointed about how it came out. But, you know, you win some, you lose some. It'll still work for the kitchen, but I do like it. I do. All right, so we have our first project done. It's the most wonderful time of the year. All right, so let's move on to the last project. Okay, for project number 2 and our last project, I also got these pot holders from Dollar Tree. They come 2 in a pack, but I am only going to use one of them. All right, so here's the pot holder. We're going to, of course, use this side. And this is a layered project. So we have 4 different colors. And I am going to go ahead and put some music on. Maybe, you know what, before I put the music on, I'm going to weed out this one. This one is white glitter by Cricut, and these 2 are these 3 are Caesar Easy Weed. So I'm gonna weed this one out on camera while I chat with you, because the glitter usually is pretty easy. I have some snowflakes here. I'm hoping that they survive because they're so little and thin, but that one came out okay. But when I go to weed those out, I'll just give you guys a little Christmas music. All right, go slow, go slow. There we go. Have just a little piece in here. All right, I'm glad the snowflake survived, because I was concerned about that when they came out of the Cricut from cutting. I was like, oh my gosh, these are so thin. I hope they are going to survive the weeding process, but they did well. That's one thing I guess about glitter I do like, because it's thick. You can sometimes when you're cutting thinner projects, they tend to survive a bit better because of the thickness of the vinyl. All right, it just says Christmas. And now I'm going to put some music on and weed out the other 3 colors. Okay, I finally have everything weeded out. I will tell you this much. Weeding this little cookie and this gingerbread, that was a doozy. All right, and I'm gonna cut off these little corners because I just put the little excess vinyl there. All right, now I can get rid of all of this. I don't want anything left on my craft desk. All right, so we have layering happening here. Let's do some layering. What I like to do when I have to layer is put down all the pieces. Even if I'm putting them on top of each other, putting all the transfer sheets right on top of each other, that's fine. I just want to see how everything is going to lay and making sure that everything is in the right spot. So let's just quickly layer these. Let's put Christmas on next. Maybe Christmas won't be last. We'll see. I want to see how it all... That's the other reason why I like to put them on top of each other and get it all mapped out, because that'll also help me figure out what needs, in what order I should press everything. Okay, so Christmas is down, and where does this go? I'm looking at my laptop here just to see where everything should go. All right, now everything is down. Got one full design, and and it says Christmas calories don't count. Oh my gosh, when I saw that, I immediately started cracking up. I'm like, okay, that is it. That's what I need. Okay, I think that's good. All right, so what I'm gonna do is take everything off except for the green, because I'm gonna start with the green layer. We have to stop right here because this is where everything went downhill. I'm gonna skip ahead where I explain what happened. Okay, so take two. I am back and I had to recut my vinyl. Why do I say take two? Why do I say that I had to recut my vinyl? Well, let me show you. Look at this. Look at the O. It is like all torn up. The R is on the verge of that. So was the C. And I don't know. The green gave me the worst issues of all. Like this, it just would not apply. I was trying to use my 9x9 Cricut heat press, as well as my mini, even though I said even though my mini is giving me some issues, I said, let me just try to give it a try just to see if it'll work. As we see, nothing worked. But I'm so happy that I had a second pot holder. So what I'm going to do is once I get everything layered on my pot holder, I'm going to take it over to my heat press. And hopefully I will get better results there. So I'm going to start with this green and layer. The green was the absolute worst. No matter what I did, this green did not want to apply. And I was starting to think that maybe there was something wrong with my vinyl. And I'm just hoping this time around will be different. Let me put that there. All right, so I'm going to take this over to my heat press and get everything pressed down. Let's pray. Okay, you guys, this is how it turned out on my heat press. This is why I don't cheat on my heat press because I always get the best results with my heat press. I tried to do my Cricut heat press and this is what it got me. And actually it's so flat and like fried now, and this is nice and fluffy still. So I have learned my lesson. So I'm glad it turned out really nice. And that is the last craft. So I have both of the kitchen crafts for today back in the camera with my cutting board that says it's the most wonderful time of the year, and then my pot holder that says Christmas calories don't count. And I'm so happy that they both turned out really nice. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me on day 2 of Craftmas. I hope that you enjoyed today's crafts and that you will leave a comment down below. Subscribe, of course, if you haven't already, and turn on your bell notifications so you don't miss any of the 12 days of Craftmas. Until tomorrow, later guys.